Happy 4th of July, Buffs Nation. What's going on? I hope you all are enjoying the holiday, enjoying your time with family and friends or whatever you decide to do. If you're working, I hope you're not working too hard. Hope you're enjoying this moment because another beautiful year has passed. We're back here on the 4th of July, and we've got to dive into some of the stories around Colorado, Coach Prime and the Buffs, and we're seeing some traction on the recruiting trail. We're going to talk about a player that got a prediction to Colorado. The Big 12 has also, the coaches have put out their preseason teams. Definitely got to talk about that because the Buffs lead the way in a very good way. And then we're going to talk about a prospect that Colorado is heavily in talks with, I guess you could say. And it appears that a decision may be coming soon and Colorado may be lucking out. We'll break down this quarterback and everything. So, welcome to the prime time of college football. Let's jump right into it. First and foremost, our first story here is going to be Big 12 media and Big 12 coaches that put out their preseason team. So the Big 12 media had dropped that out. And when I saw the list, I was like, there we go. Buffs are going to do it, baby. So let me pull this up for you all so you can check it out. And so when you see here, first thing on that list is you got three guys that made it into the Big 12 preseason all-conference team. Let's basically call it that. You had B.J. Green II, the transfer from Arizona State, who we expect to do big things this coming season for Colorado. Really shore up that defensive line and make Colorado a threat here in the new Big 12. Then, of course, Travis Hunter on the defensive side. You knew he was going to make the team. That dude is so electric. He is the best two-way player in the league. Probably we've seen since, Charles Woodson back in the 90s, right, at Michigan. We haven't seen a guy that can go both sides of the ball this elite in a long time. If you want to get a closer, more recent comparison, you're probably looking at a Ronald Curry and a Julius Peppers, but they didn't play both sides of the ball. They played two sports, right? They was in football, and then they were out in the NCAA tournament on the North Carolina basketball team. But you haven't seen a Travis Hunter type in college football in a long time. And so, of course, this was definitely deserved. We knew that he was going to end up on the list. He's the one player that nobody denies his talent. Thank goodness, because, there's a lot of shade thrown out there everywhere else. But then you see, of course, Shedeur Sanders, which tells you one thing. The quarterback for the Big 12, the one they consider the best one in the Big 12, is Shedeur. That's right. Coach Prime's boy, the quarterback for the Colorado Buffs, your Colorado Buffs, is considered the best quarterback in the Big 12. And there's no question about that. As of right now, it appears that he is the guy that's looked at as the one that's going to probably be drafted at a very high level. And so, that we're stoked to see that we've got those three guys out here getting those accolades, getting that recognition, something that we always hope for when it comes to here at the prime time. We know that Colorado deserves a lot more accolades than what they get. There's a lot of haters out there, and we understand. They think that Colorado's just a show. They don't think that Colorado's out here being serious. And don't worry, the Buffs are going to prove them wrong this coming season. Now, another award came out. And it was the Big 12. You got the preseason Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, as well as newcomer. And y'all know Offensive Player of the Year went to Ollie Gordon over there at Oklahoma State, the running back. He's an elite running back, so we definitely understand that selection. Defensively, Travis Hunter, Defensive Player of the Year on the preseason for all Big 12. You cannot be more excited this coming season because he's going to show out. If he goes out there, has yet another elite season, barring injury, he stays healthy, there's a good chance this dude's getting drafted in the first round. And I know you Buffs fans would be stoked to see a Colorado Buffalo from Coach Prime's coaching tree get himself drafted. There was no denying the talent that Travis Hunter had. We knew that he was going to be good. That's why Coach Prime went after him so heavy at Jackson State. Got him to come to Jackson State instead of Florida State, and now he's still showing that talent. People were trying to knock that Coach Prime getting these players to go to smaller schools or even following him to Colorado, saying they're never going to live up to those expectations. And unfortunately, Cormani McClain is an example of one that didn't, but Cormani just needs to go back home, and we're glad to see that he's doing well. He'll do well at Florida, and he'll be able to show back out. but not Travis Hunter. We knew Travis Hunter was going to be great. And with the tutelage of Coach Prime, boom, we are seeing it. So, of course, your boy here is excited to see what's coming down the line. But from there, Colorado has seen some trending things towards them when it comes to recruits. One of them is, of course, Juju Lewis, right? So we've talked about Juju and how Juju is probably one of the main focus for Coach Prime and the staff, and one player that they desperately would like to get their hands on. And it appears that what Juju has done is he's cleaned up his social media, and we don't see traces of the USC commitment anymore. Now, you can think what you want, believe what you want, let whatever run through your mind and whatever jive through your mind at that point. But it appears that Colorado has a very good chance to steal that quarterback away. He has raved about being at Colorado. He's talked about the idea of following Shedeur, feeling like Shedeur has the blueprint to lead him to the same accolades that Shedeur is going to get, because Shedeur is considered one of the top 3 quarterbacks coming in this draft. So it means he's going to be in the first round. If that's the case, Juju sees an example of, okay, that can be me. I would love to do that. And so we see that we're seeing some scrubbing of social media. We know that there's other players in the game. You've got Auburn that's looking at him. You've got Indiana, where his old quarterback coach is now at. So you've got a few places that are still in the battle with it. And heck, Lincoln Riley has created Heisman Trophy winners and first number 1 picks. He's got 3 of them under his belt. You would think they could hang on, but it appears Colorado has gotten his attention. The idea of the flash and the publicity you're going to get from being here with the Buffs and with this guy, Coach Prime, teaching them or whatnot, why not take the chance and seeing what you can get out of being a Buff and seeing if following the tutelage of the professional athletes on this coaching staff will help you get to that point. I think that it's a good chance that can happen for him. So I'm sensing that Juju's going to take all his visits again, really think about it. But I think there's a very good chance that Colorado could land him. I'm going to put a 40% in there. I think it's 40% Colorado, 40% Auburn, and I think it's 20% the field at this point. So we'll see if Colorado can close and seal that deal. But because of your economic contributions to the program, there's a good chance that Colorado can land one of the most coveted players in the 2025 class. Lastly, this one was one that really got your boy excited, because this is the one thing that Colorado needs. Just some more splash wins on the recruiting trail. So we talked about Juju. We know that Juju's one that we are really hoping ends up being one. But there's a wide receiver out of Spring, Texas that appears to be trending towards Colorado. Steve Wiltfong over at On3. He was infamous for being at 247 as the director of recruiting. He's the VP of recruiting at On3. He drops his Fong bombs all the time to talk about players that have a potential of landing at certain spots. And he has given Colorado a vote of confidence in landing this wide receiver. We got Quanell Farrakhan Jr. out of Spring, Texas, and it looks like Quanell has a good chance of landing at the Buffs. He is a 5'11" wide receiver, about 180, so 5'11 and a half, 180, so he's probably closer to 6 foot now, from North Shore High School in Spring, Texas. And looking at him and his accolades, the kid's a baller. And there's a really good chance for the Buffs to pull him. The prediction went in yesterday, so that means that everything's being evaluated. There's a good chance that he ends up making a decision over the weekend. He is a consensus and composite 4-star player, top 200 and top 300 player in high school football, top 40 wide receiver in the nation. Dude can ball. And so if he rounds out and Colorado picks him up, that's another elite wide receiver, another Jimmy Horn type wide receiver to come here and give Juju Lewis some good targets on top of the veterans he'll have coming through next season. Because if I'm going to be honest, if the Juju situation goes down, I sense the big thing for Colorado there is you get Juju, there's a good chance he's probably going to start early in his career. So that's the news here from Boulder. Hop in the comments. Let me know what you think about all of that. Love to hear from you all. Also, check out one of our other videos that was dropped a few days ago, where we're talking Buffs all the time. You can check that out here, as well as go ahead and subscribe here. Hit that like button before you leave the door. Thanks for pulling up.